Welcome everyone to the Your Little Castle show. You know, St. Louis is one big happy community. It seems everyone kind of gets to know each other, and it's with great pride we welcome our guest, the leader in the community, Ron Neeley, owner of Swiss Air Heating and Cooling.
Thank you. Well, nice to have you.
Thanks. You see what he did there? That's
Yeah.
good. Warm welcome to you, Ron. We've known each other for years. You've actually done some work for me here. You guys did a great job helping me keep this place cool.
There you go. That's what we're here for.
That's what you're here for. So with that, welcome, Ron, everybody. Ron, glad to have you in the studio.
Oh, we're glad to be here.
Tell us a little bit about why you decided you wanted to get into the heating and cooling business.
Well, 35 years ago, I just went to tech school, learned how to fix things, and found out I was really good at it. And I was working as a manager of a warehouse at the time, and they decided to move to Arkansas, and so I chose I'd rather stay here in St. Louis, and the rest they say is history. So, you know, that's pretty simple.
That's great. I mean, I've known people that I'll never forget. I was a kid, the Wolkoffs, they were going to have to move because the company moved, and then they started their own company up and decided St. Louis. You love it here in St. Louis, huh?
Yeah, I was born here in St. Louis, February of 1965. And started my business in December of '89.
Okay,
so,
real young. You got it going. Yeah. That's pretty cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we always give it a quick shout out, if you will. Take a look behind me on the TV wall. There it is, Carroll House Furniture. Brooke, a buddy of mine, I saw him out. I didn't even run into him. You didn't see Brooke, but we were at the annual Christmas party over at the Ritz-Carlton. They rented out the big ballroom this year. That was kind of neat. So there it is, but he and Amy do a great job running Carroll House Furniture. Do you know anybody who hasn't had furniture from Carroll House in St. Louis?
No, I don't. I see their commercials all the time, though. So.
Yeah, and they do a great job. Other big sponsor that we love here that has done a great job, USA Mortgage, the Flowers team. If you can see, powered by the Flowers team, and they do. We just love having them as our sponsor here for our show. This would not be happening. I'm a licensed loan officer. That's kind of where this all goes with regard to helping businesses in the housing industry, and we need experts that can help provide services for those people, because if you own a house, you want it to be heated and cooled properly so that you can be comfortable there, and that's something we get to enjoy here in America. I'm going to put up on the wall behind us, Ryan, you had a great looking website.
Well, thank you.
That is, you've done well there. We talked a little bit about that before the show started here, but yeah, you guys obviously do a good job to look professional, do the part, and give people the information they need. So here is the website. That is SwissAirSTL.com.
Yeah, I got to give kudos to Darren for that. He does our marketing. He's been working with me for about 6 years, and he's responsible for all the content and things you see here. He does a good job.
Well, tell me a little bit more about the path that led you here. When you were, that decision you had to make to decide whether you were going to move or follow the business or start up, and you decided to start up. What compelled you to go that far to do that?
Well, I was at a customer's house one day, and I used to do a lot of appliance work, and the story goes, the poor little old lady couldn't afford the repair, and I told my boss it wasn't right to charge her that. Now, I'm young at the time, so I did the repair for free, and I paid for it myself. My boss decided that I wasn't the right guy for him, but I decided that I could do better for people on my own, and so I started my business in December, which you should never start a new service business in December. But I've done everything wrong you can do, and I'm still here. So, but customers like what we do, and they seem to appreciate it. So that's how I got to where I'm at today.
Well, if somebody's been in business that long, obviously you've been doing things correctly.
We've done a few things right, but we did it wrong first.
Sure.
So, but yeah, we've come a long way from my first employee to, I think we have 23 now. And we do training every day to make sure that they try to do the right thing in the home. We make mistakes, but we stand behind them, and we make sure we make them right with the customer. So,
well, that's the key to success as well. Lots to talk about here. Tell me, what is it that really kind of fuels your passion? If you'd say there's one thing that drives you every day, you're saying, I just love what I get to do to help. I mean, people, this is vital. People's health depends on the area that they live in, and if they're get to where it can be a degree temperature issue, and people could go into having medical problems? I mean, what's is there a little pressure in what you do to help the community?
Well, I really like working with customers because I like seeing that when I leave, that they were unhappy when I got there, they're happy when I left. It wasn't working. The mom with the kid who's screaming and all those things, and we actually create an atmosphere in their home to where they can actually live in there. Obviously, we know in St. Louis we get really hot summers, so we make sure that we provide that. So, and the fact that I can provide a job, a career, a lifestyle for my employees, that also drives me to make sure that I don't always have to be right, but I got to try to get it right.
Right, yeah.
And that's what we do, is we try to do the right thing. I have those signs up around my office all the time, and one of them is just do the next right thing. And that's what drives me to make sure that I come in every day and we provide for customers what they need.
Well, the keys to survival. This is what we're trying to help everybody understand. We do this show to help other people who are out there trying to figure out what they want to do in life, or at least figure out who they can trust. Say, let some of our experts explain to you how this is done, how they've had their success, so you can be comfortable in using them and maybe learn from them and say, hey, here's a career path I could take. I mean, there's a good living to be made by becoming a heating and cooling expert, I would assume. And you hire 23, you employ 23 people.
Yeah, what we have is our apprentice program, is we bring people in with not much experience, and we train them to turn a wrench and talk to people and try to help them communicate the benefits of different things that we offer. And if we can't do it, we probably know someone who can, and we try to make it what's best for the homeowner, so.
Well, and it's such an expensive component for the house, and if it's not set up and running correctly, it can be an even bigger problem. And gosh, how many people they go, I don't know whether I got a deal or not. I don't know. I know you guys were dynamite in helping me. I think it even helped me to finance it a little bit and get the thing.
Yes,
paid.
we do that. We do have financing available for anything from a repair up to a replacement. We try to make it fit into your budget. Everybody's different. And everybody's situation is different, so we try to make it affordable to everybody. So,
well, you're doing a great job. We're going to show a little bit about your website here. So I'll put up on the TV wall. This is the TV wall behind me, everybody. But I'm going to zoom in, so Ron, they're not going to be able to see us, but they'll be able to hear us as I press our button here. It takes us right to what I've got over on the computer on here on our far left. We got a bunch of monitors in here. What did you think about our studio? Is this a little decent setup?
I was impressed. I was more than I was expecting. So there you go.
I appreciate this. So yeah, here it is. Get a $2,000 instant rebate on offer right up front. You can schedule right here, and then all kinds of information about the company, including here's some air conditioning, heating, gas inspections, indoor air quality. That's important. A little plumbing, commercial maintenance, and if you want to meet the team and see everybody that you got on there too, you got some contact, some about information, and a little contact here. But easy to reach you. You can chat with the company right here, and a lot of great information there to make it simple for people to get a hold of. Phone number, easy to find right there, right at the top in front. I like how when that scrolls down, it pops up there too. So very important. But what we'd like to share with everybody is a little bit about the reviews. So Ron, I'm going to spring something on here on you a little bit, but check it out here. Swiss Air Heating and Cooling, right here, A+ on the BBB. Good job.
Yes.
And
yeah, they don't hand those out to everybody, but we do a good job. I think our Google rating is like 4.9 or something like that.
Great lead in.
Okay,
That's what I was going. I had the button already set. As soon as I pressed the release, it was coming up. But yeah, Swiss Air. I did a quick search for you guys and find out here. Yeah, you've got a 4.9. There's that 0.1. I had to scroll down there. I was looking at these last night for prepping for the meeting for our interview, and I was like 5 star, 5 star, 5 star, 5 star, 5 star, 5. There's finally a 4.
Right.
I couldn't find anything less than a 4.
We got some people who won't give us a 5 no matter what we do. But we get some honest feedback, and when we get a lower one once in a while, we have to deal with it and find out what we did wrong. And like I said, we're not perfect, but we always make it right and try to respond to all the ratings.
Well, you can see what I had to do here, ladies and gentlemen. Going down there, finally. No, that's not. It says 4 reviews, not a 4. Well, I saw one up here that caught my attention. I'm going to read one here for everybody, if you don't mind. This is from Nadine. The ultimate savings plan is a real money saver, and that's important for people, right? Because when you're trying to save some money, And service technicians who have come out to check out my HVAC have been great. Today, the technician's name was Lane, and he was very patient while I was wrapping up my phone call, and he had arrived ahead of schedule. After completing the maintenance, he had some recommendations to help me with life and health and my systems, as well as help address an issue we discussed. I've done my research on recommendations, and will definitely be reaching out. So cool. One of hundreds, there's 346 total reviews there, and I mean, I'll tell you what, you had to do a little work just to get how many clients you have to have, because not everybody will fill out a review, but you got 346. If you had 10%, I mean, you got 3,460 clients. So
that'd be about right.
I would bet, yeah, it's tough to get 10% of your patrons to fill out reviews. So great job on that. I mean, that really is.
Kudos to Lane. Lane is a really good guy. He has a wife and a couple kids, and he's been with me for a couple years now, and he is a special guy. He does really good work. Really good work.
And so you have a lot of your employees that have been around for a long time too, then, I guess.
Because we do a lot of training, our average length of employee is not as long as other companies, but we bring in young guys. We have a kid named Jacob who's fresh out of high school this year, and he's leaving us. He found his ideal job, and he's going to work for a gun manufacturer. So we help people get to wherever they want to go, and that's what he wants to do. So we do have some turnover in that department because of those type of things. But we're working to keep people for a long time. So.
And well, it sounds like it's because you're helping to train people and get them started from scratch and bring it up. A lot of them, they may run off and start off their own HVAC, or they learn how to run a business and then say, all right, this isn't necessarily the business I want to be in, but Ron helped me to learn. And so
I have had a few employees who've started their own businesses. Yeah. So.
Well, that's really awesome. Okay, well, let's talk a little bit more about this. What would you say the one thing you guys do that really sets your business apart? There's a lot of HVAC companies out there, but if there's one thing you say you do better than anybody, what would you say that is?
Well, I think some of the warranties, guarantees, and different things that we do, like we offer a lifetime warranty on any repair that we do. If you were one of our maintenance customers and we fix something for you, it's guaranteed for the life, your life, not the life of the system. So we have our tagline, friendly people, quality ideas, solutions. So we try to be creative sometimes when, because even though it's all the same stuff, everybody's house is built a little bit different and everybody's needs are a little bit different. So we try to make it fit each person's budget and how they use the house. Like you were just saying about your house here, how you use it, everybody's different. So we try to make it work for you, and that's what we try to do. I think that separates us. We won't be the cheapest in town, but we will be the best value in town. You won't get a better bang for your buck than what we try to provide for you.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about it before, and that is the value. What is what objection you have? We're kind of jumping ahead here, but is it the cost? It's not the cost; it's the value. If people don't see the value in what you're doing, then the cost is out of line.
Doesn't matter if it's $10 or $10,000. If you don't provide value, you're always going to get a complaint. So we don't get too many of those because we do try to provide really good value for the dollar that you spend. Alan Parker is my comfort advisor, and he is very good with customers, determining what they need and bringing out the value that we can provide for them to live in their homes comfortably. And so I think we do a pretty good job with that. So you saw that we're tied to Daikin. Daikin is the largest manufacturer in the world of HVAC equipment, and we have teamed up then with what we call our Sweet 16 coming up in January, February, March, tied with the basketball thing there. But they are working with us to get some really good equipment into people's homes to lower their utility bills. You can't even hear it run. I mean, it's amazing to me after all these years in business, they've got a system out there that you literally have to walk up to and lean over almost to actually hear it run. And it does, He gets really good gas mileage, as that would be compared to other things that are out there.
Okay.
And with all the rebates and tax credits that are coming out this next year, they're very, very affordable piece of equipment now. So,
well, it sounds like you guys have obviously got an efficient operation over there too. You're hiring people, you're training people. It says on your website you're hiring right now. If somebody might want to change careers or move into the career with you guys. When it comes down to all of what you've put together, how long did it really take you before you felt like this business was running optimally as a business owner?
40 years. I've been doing it. I've been doing it for 33.
Right.
There's a new challenge every day. So no, but reality is probably about 5 years ago when I started hiring the quality people I've got Lisa Brockman. She's my office administrator. She does a really good job. We call her our mother hen, as it is, but she takes care of the guys, but she don't let them get away with murder. Darren, Bill is my new operations. He came to me this year. I've got my brother works for me in the parts and inventory, and his son-in-law actually works for me too, and he's our lead trainer and different things like that. And so just the sheer fact that we're starting to really train guys well, I would say within the last couple of years, things are firing on all 8 cylinders. So,
well, that's dynamite. Yeah, I'd say putting together a business for somebody who started a business a couple times just to get over and get it to where you have it functional and you're really producing, it takes years.
Yeah, it does.
And it's always a continuing struggle, if you will, or battle to improve and figure out what the next thing is and how the technology has changed. And I guess that's true in your industry too. There's technology that has to be adapted and everything.
Amazing, different, yeah. Lots of thermostats now that are communicating thermostats, and you can change your temperature and check things when you're in Arizona or at the ball game or wherever. You know, with doorbells, you can see who's at your door, but with your thermostat, you can check a lot of things and do things from your phone now that you were never able to do before. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, as I said, being able to change the air conditioning from Hawaii, if you wanted to, for your house back in
where it was last week.
So I saw that.
That's right.
And
So
that's very I mean, the technology these days, and you've got to be on top of that. If you're not on top of that, then who's going to take care of it? Well, somebody else will come in for that. But it changes all the time. It also creates that upgrading, and so. But systems these days, do they still last 20, 30 years? Is that still the standard?
The average life expectancy of a unit is around 15 years, and that hasn't changed since I've been in the business.
Okay.
However, with all the new high-tech stuff that's going into them, they're being built to last longer now. So,
Are they really?
Just because of the way they operate and the flexibility, you can buy one machine now that will go from a small unit to a large unit, as opposed to years ago you bought one unit, that was it, and that's all it produced. But they make them now where they're variable up and down, so it's like buying 2 or 3 air conditioners in one box. And so in St. Louis, you know, we get those days where, oh my God, there's never enough. And then you get the days, but there's more days of where you don't need as much, and why pay for that much. And so these units that you have a picture up on the screen actually do that kind of stuff for you. So.
Well, very key. Well, the next question I have for you, this is where we put on the Cardinal Cowboy hat, is tell me a time when you really went out of your way to help a customer. Just one time you remember when you had a particular situation where there was something you just felt like, we got to reach out. We got to do something here to make a difference with these guys.
Well, you asked me that before we started, and I said that was going to be a tough one, because every day that I come in, I'm always trying to make, you know, the things right for a customer. And I guess I would say things like when I tell a customer that we do the right thing. We measured the house. We decided what size unit was supposed to go in. We put it in, and you know what? It didn't work. So what we did is, what's the right thing? We went out, we took it back out, and we put in the right size, and no additional charge for the customer. We make sure that it's right. The longest I ever did that was a 9-year system.
Oh, really?
A guy insisted that we had put in the wrong size 9 years ago, and it hadn't worked right. So, of course, they don't make that system anymore. So
Right.
we worked out a deal with him to upgrade him to what he needed. And at the end of the day, I think he was happy with the results, because it was not that we had to do it, but it was the right thing. And that's what we live by, is to try to do the next right thing.
So. Yeah, I can understand it. This your particular industry isn't something where you're like, okay, we got them a surgery or something, and we're done, and that's it, and it's all done. They are constantly living with us every day, and they call you back 9 years later and say, by the way, I think this is something, and Ron, you took it upon yourself to go ahead and help them, despite the fact that
we try to come out every year. That is, I guess, a downfall of the new stuff is there are so many sensors and stuff in there, and they do need to be maintained a little bit more than what they used to be to make sure that they're working optimally. And we can do that, track that stuff through the cloud now and different things like that to make sure that your system is getting you the best bang for its buck. So,
well, and like back to the technology thing again, it's so in depth. As a guy who built, I worked for Anheuser-Busch for 10 years, and I built their Microsoft Exchange servers. And talk about,
oh my God, yeah.
Just intense. Well, there was one time a server went down, and we had 2,000 users who didn't have mail, and for corporate, and so that was a big deal. But we stayed there. I stayed up there all night. Got a word from the CFO for that. That was kind of neat. But literally, the technology now, if everything isn't running perfectly, there's some kind of and then you're gonna get a call. Somebody's gonna say, "Hey, we have a problem here, Houston. We have a problem. Somebody come back over here and fix this." And you're out there. 24-hour service emergency service available, I guess?
We do. We try to answer our phones. We do have some phone issues once in a while, but overall we do get with customers. If it's not answered, it goes to our email, those kind of things, and we try to respond from there to make sure that, I put customers up in hotels before because, just couldn't fix it that weekend, that type of thing. So I do what I have to do to make sure the customer's taken care of. So.
Well, that's the. So here's, ladies and gentlemen, this is why we highlight such leaders as Ron, because we want you to see these people that are experts that have done this and to make a difference, because we can all learn from this. That's the idea. Somebody's been doing this for as long as you have. That's very neat. Tell me the process. Just say, I'm ready, Ron. I need your services. Come on out. I think my unit is on the kaputs. There's a problem, whatever it may be. I don't know. I'm not an expert. What's the process to get somebody from your office to come help?
Well, the first step is obviously let us know, and that means call the office and say, hey, I've got a problem. And then we ask a few qualifying questions to determine, because some people who call have a home warranty. Their system's only 2 years old, and they can't get hold of the person who originally put it in for them for the warranty. So there's a lot of things that we need to know up front, because you shouldn't pay me for something that you could get done for free. Okay, right. So we had one yesterday. The guy had a home warranty, but Saturday, they couldn't get to him before today. So we sent someone out on Saturday. Of course, he had to pay us and get reimbursed from his home warranty company, but we try to be there when people need us. So they call in, we get it, depending on the time of day. Erin is our girl who answers the phone. She does, again, a really good job. We answer our phones. It's a great day at Swiss Air. How can we make you smile? And so that would be a differential that we have there. And then depending on where you're at, and we try to send the most qualified guy that we can to your house to look at it. And if he doesn't know, we have plenty of support. Darren, myself, Bill, between the three of us, we have over 50 years experience, so between me and Darren, we probably have 60. But we can generally help the technician fix whatever needs in the field. But when you call, she'll set the appointment. We get a guy out there. We dispatch through service, through phones, through tablets, those kind of things. They arrive at your home. They knock on your door. They put on their shoe covers, because we don't want to track anything from into your house, and we make sure that we protect your home. We try not to park in the driveway, and you'll see I parked in the middle of the street, because just not something we do, because someone may have to leave. The mailman may show up, and I still look at those things. Your flag was up, so I didn't park where the mailman couldn't get to you. Okay. So we try to think of all those little things like that, because they do make a big difference. We come in, we do the service. We don't do any work without your permission. We show you, hey, this is what we saw, and then you get a choice of what you want to do. And then we give you those options, and whichever one you pick, we say thank you, and we do the work. And depending on what it is, we guarantee it for life. You get done. We take all kinds of forms of payments, chickens. No, I'm just kidding. We don't take chickens.
Gotcha.
Cash, check, credit card, whatever it is that you need that makes you feel comfortable. And then they close that out. It goes back to the office, and you should get a follow-up question of, hey, how did we do? What could we do better? I'm always interested in 5 stars are great, and I want all of them. Please keep that in mind. But occasionally let me know what I can do better, you know, because we're not perfect. What can we do better? Because without that, we will never improve. So sure. We do appreciate that positive feedback.
Well, a lot of great tips you've offered everybody here to be successful and to run a business and to help serve the community and make a difference. So one interesting side note about Ron that I happen to notice, he's known as the Wizard of Comfort. That's pretty cool. I mean, if I could say anything about being any kind of association with the Wizard, everybody knows the Wizard of Oz, Ozzie Smith, one of my all-time favorite players. Man, the Wizard of Comfort. But remember, Ron, with great power comes great responsibility, right? Very cool, very cool. We'll finish with one last question here. What would you say is one big challenge you've overcome that made a difference and you really learned from and helped you become the successful businessman that you are?
Well, what I don't know yet is how do I get one of those hats?
these are hard to come by. People have asked me, and I had a guy who wanted to wrestle me the other night. And I said, well, just give, it's about, these hats go for $200, and I said $600 just to kind of mess with them. But I'm like, it's not for sale. It's kind of what I was saying.
Challenges to overcome. You'd ask that. I'm sorry, I got distracted with that Cardinal Cowboy there. The biggest thing that I think we've overcome is getting, like anybody else, finding the right people to obviously to do the job, but getting all the increased costs that we have had so much in the last couple of years. It is amazing how much things have went up, and still trying to make sure that keeps everything affordable for people, and being able to get them the comfort they need within their budget. And I would say that's been a challenge, because that includes everything from new employees, the cost to train them, the software, the vehicles, the cost of fuel, vehicles. 2022 was our year for breakdowns, you know, so right. We had a huge challenge with that this last year. And then benefits and all the things that go in to be able to provide that right guy, the lanes of this world, to put them in front of you, who you know they're going to do a good job for the customer. I would say that was one of our biggest challenge, is to make that happen. Well, there you heard it from the expert, ladies and gentlemen. That's why we're honored to present you with your little castle, our favorite little belt right there, but our community leader belt. So there it is. Ron, yeah, go ahead and hold that up. I'll let everybody take a look. There it is, everybody. But Ron is now a community leader, as designated by our... it looks like my brother. But yeah, big and buff and all about it here. So, hey, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you staying tuned here. And Ron is a leader in the community. So we'll get a picture with you with that on. And sure. Then we'll take a chance. But you're fine. You guys wait as we finish up. We got it there, everybody. All right, but you're listening to the Your Little Castle Show. Giddy up.